Well, it's Carnaval Gras. It's part Carnival, it's part Mardi Gras, and it's awesome. And this year's theme for Carnaval Gras is going bananas. If it's not these kind of bananas, it's these kind of bananas. But guess what? I'm not going to make something with bananas. I'm going to eat them separately. Anyways, hello again everybody. This is Migueltio, the North Country Latino, and we're live here, and I'm here. It's almost Cuaresma. And so that means we got to have some dessert soon, because before that you're going to be able to fast and give up things and all that kind of stuff, as many people do regardless of your faith during Cuaresma, during Lent, if you want to call it. So today we are going to make chocolate baklava. I wanted to find a cold dessert, and I know baklava is not only the Latino dessert and everything, but hey, it's Mediterranean, it's close to Spain, so hey, baklava chocolate is on the menu today for Migueltio, the North Country Latino. Okay. So anyways, you start with some honey. I got a pot full of about 3/4 a cup of honey here. And I'm going to put it on the stove. And you got to kind of stir it on medium heat until the honey dissolves. Add to that about 1/2 cup of water. Put the water into the pot. And add to that one of these babies. Good sized cinnamon stick, and put that right in the pot. And then you're going to stir so the honey dissolves, and then you're going to heat it up to about 220 degrees on one of your handy dandy candy thermometers. About 10 minutes. So get yourself a spoon and stir constantly, because you know honey can get stick and all that kind of stuff. So here's your concoction. Honey is a very important part of any baklava. And I lived out in Western New York. I used to go to the Village Gate Square in Rochester, New York, and there's a baklava man there who would have a wagon just inside. It's kind of like an urban mall, if you will. And he would stand there and say, "Everybody love my baklava!" And I had a piece one day that was to die for. I can't say I've had much baklava over the years. Maybe a few pieces here and there. But this is going to be awesome. Chocolate baklava. And you see, as you stir it, it gets lighter and lighter. So when it's really light, back to being like water, then you know the honey is dissolved. And then you just have to heat it up. Well, it looks like we're at about 210 degrees, so it's time to get that honey off the stove and just set it aside and cover it. Now you're going to take about a cup of chocolate flavored hazelnut spread, or many people know Nutella. Okay, there's Kugel, that's another one I remember from when I was a kid. Nutella I think is newer, but not one that I knew. So you're going to take that and put it in a bowl, microwave safe bowl, and you're going to microwave it for about 30 seconds or so on high, because you want that to melt a little more than its consistency when it comes out of the jar. Because that's going to be your basis for the chocolate in this baklava. Usually you make stuff with cooking cocoa or baker's chocolate and stuff like that. Not this time, folks, because another important ingredient in baklava is nuts. And this being hazelnut flavor, there you go. 30 seconds. I did say that a main ingredient in baklava was nuts. Here we have a combination of toasted, just got them right out of the oven, almonds and pecans, depending on who you want to talk to, and walnuts. And I'm going to chop them in the food processor. They can be together, apart, however you want it. They're going to all go together anyways, because that's basically your filling, or part of it. Alright, next out of the oven I have some nuts. And I've got them coarsely chopped. I'm going to chop them a little more. It's basically 1/2 cup of pecans, or pecans, walnuts, and almonds. Get them all nice and finely coarsely chopped, just like that. I just took them out of the oven off this pan because I toasted them first. So do that and then chop them up, because that's going to be the basis of your filling. Then you're going to take your nuts out of the food processor, place them in a bowl, add about half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and mix it all together. Get the rest of it out of the process. Some of it tends to stick to the bottom. Nuts are funny that way. They seem dry to the bone, but they got a moisture inside of them, so you got to really kind of spoon those out there. Okay, so mix that cinnamon and those nuts together really well. I have a spoon myself here. Stir it all together. So you've got your nut formation, and then you've got your chocolate all nice and melted up. You get it out of the microwave. Lights, please. Now the fun part comes putting this whole thing together. It's like building a lasagna, but it's not. Similar, okay? Take your good old 13 by 9, spray it with cooking spray. Then you're going to take these fun items, phyllo sheets, and start layering on the bottom of the pan. Now, if you've ever dealt with phyllo sheets, you know that they're very thin. So you don't usually use one at a time. You're going to start with about 5 of them and layer it into this pan. Now, you get those sheets in there so that they're nice and pressed down as best you can there. Spray it with a little cooking spray. Get it all over. Because, yeah, I don't use butter. It's kind of a lower fat recipe. So it will brown very nicely. And then you're going to take about 1/3 cup of your chocolate and your nuts and layer it down on the first rack of sheets there. Because these make this in layers, just like I said, like a lasagna. Okay? So you're going to take about 1/3 cup of the hazelnut. Okay? And put that right over. Sprinkle it like topping anything you're making in the oven. Do it evenly. And spread her around. Kind of like frosting a cake, huh? And it's going to press right down. Then you're going to do the same thing with your chocolate. Take 1/3 cup of that. And the chocolate is a little bit more easy to handle now that you've melted it, so it's not as thick as it was in the bowl. Third of a cup of the chocolate. Take it. Get it dumped out there, and you're going to spread it around on top of the nuts. You might want a spreader for this, something like this, to move it around. Again, this stuff you really got to drag out, you know. If you want everybody to have some chocolate in it, of course. Won't be fair if like all the chocolate was on one side, now would it? There, now that you've got that spread around, you're going to do it 2 more times. So 5 more sheets, spray it with spray, nuts, chocolate. And now that you've got the 3rd layer already done now, you're going to take 6 more sheets of your fantabulous phyllo sheet layers and top it. If it's hard to count out exactly 5 and 6, I mean, a good little pile of them is good enough. You try, because they're so thin you don't want to break neither. And then spray the top with the spray so it will brown. You got your oven preheated to 350 as usual. Then take a good sharp knife. You bread guy. And what you're going to do is make some slits so that you've got about 24 kind of crosswise portions kind of pre-cut here. You know how they serve it in squares at Greek restaurants, and if you ever come across a baklava man like I did in Rochester, then you know how that is. Slits all made. It's going to go in the oven for 35 minutes on 350. Baklava, baby. Baklava. Well, look at that. Beautiful golden and brown and out of the oven. Baklava ready to eat. Well, not quite yet. Remember that honey concoction you made earlier? Well, you've been warming on the stove, okay? First thing, and I know cinnamon sticks get the bad rep all the time. You gotta get rid of that cinnamon stick, baby. Take it off. And then you're gonna take a nice little drizzling spoon. And you're going to drizzle that honey right over the top of that baklava. Spread it over even. Looks good. And that, always got that rich honey topping whenever you get a baklava in it. And that helps keep the sheets moist, because those phyllo sheets really dry out, don't they? Any of you that have ever cooked with them? So this is good to keep them nice and moist. Yum. Rich and yummy, and there it is, chocolate baklava. What a nice little dessert to round out the time before you start putting things away a little bit. Well, you know, you don't have to be, whether you're observing Lent or, as I like to say, Quaresma, or not. It's a yummy dessert in this cold time of year. And I hope all of you who are observing those things out there have a blessed one ahead of you. And anyone who's coming upon Passover, which is about the same time as Easter this year, have a blessed season leading up to that, and anything else any of you do out there. I hope it's all blessed and good and full of love around you. We will be coming to you live from a location I'm not going to tell, coming the end of Quaresma. Some of you out there may know I may have slipped my tongue a little bit. So hey, if I told you, don't give it away. Anybody who wants to care to guess, you can message me or something. But hey, you never know where I'm going to be. We're going to come to you live from there, and I'm going to put together something. I'm probably not going to cook. It's going to be like a travelogue. But anyway, this is Migueltio, the North Country Latino. Saying God bless, and enjoy your baklava.